Hi there guys, welcome back to Attack on Final Fantasy. Today we are going to see if we can complete Final Fantasy V using just blue magic. When I say blue magic, I mean one blue magic, and that is Goblin Punch. The rules are very simple for this one. There's no items in battles and no flame battles. It is literally just Goblin Punch. When we get it, that is. If you can hear a little bit of background noise, some guys are taking down some scaffolding outside my house, and they chose to do this on the day I had scheduled in to record this voiceover. Cheers guys. Goblin Punch is likely the first blue magic spell you will receive in Final Fantasy V. It does non-elemental damage to a single enemy and costs 0 MP to use. It is completely unblockable, and it is not penalised if my party is in the back row. If your enemy is the same level as the caster, it does 8 times the damage. Talking of damage, its damage is relevant to the weapon's power. I'm not 100% sure on the formula, but I know that it's a good thing. For this run, I felt it only right to call Bart Goblin, and as always we need to get through and defeat the Wing Raptor before we can gain the Blue Mage job class. We hang around the Wind Shrine to learn Goblin Punch from goblins, and now the run can start proper. After getting the Canal Key, we take on Carla Boss. Using Goblin Punch over and over, it takes a while as we're doing just 30 damage per attack, which is not a good start. Halfway through the ship graveyard, everybody learns the blue magic ability, so we can now switch to Thieves and start grinding the AP for the stat boost. Before facing Siren, I change everybody to freelancers so I can use any of the weapons that I have picked up so far, in the hopes that the attack power from them will boost Goblin Punch. Siren does take a little bit to go down because her undead form is pretty resilient to my attacks, but eventually we do get her down. The next bosses are Magisa and Forza. We bombard them with Goblin Punch and eventually they go down as well. It's not really getting any easier yet. I can't wait to get some decent weapons. Anyway, we got a dragon now. I was worried about Gorilla boss fight, and I was right to be so. My first attempt, we get wiped. This thing can hit hard, but we eventually do take it down. Goblin Punch is going to be pretty sucky for a while, but I have a plan to make it better later on. By the time we get to the Liquid Flame, some of my party are level 19, which matches the boss's level. So this boss is a lot easier than it has been in the past. During the exploding castle scene, we are forced to fight Ironclaw, and this is a complete nightmare, but we get there in the end. Next up, it's my favourite desert. We beat up the Chimera here for that juicy 12 AP per battle, and master Monk and Thief for their stat boost. We also master Ninja for the dual wield ability. This will boost the power of Goblin Punch significantly. Oh my days. How do you say this? How do you say this, phone? Tell me how to say this word. Phone, help me. Help me.
Significantly.
No, I still can't do it, phone. Let's try again. Say it again. Say it to me again.
Significantly.
Man, why am I doing YouTube videos? This is crazy. I also mess up and I master Red Mage, which takes quite a while because the last level of Red Mage, which gets you dual cast, needs 999 AP, and that's nuts. And I thought it would allow me to dual cast Goblin Punch, but it doesn't work with blue magic. That was my plan to make it more powerful, but it hasn't panned out at all. There isn't a lot else to say about the bosses on this world. Nothing really severe happens. It will go down quite quickly, so we're just going to slap in a little montage right here. Once in Gallup's world, Gilgamesh melts before us. When I eventually get onto the world map, I upgrade my gear in the first town I see. Now my Goblin Punches are hitting for just over 2000 damage. Well, sometimes. For some reason it fluctuates from enemy to enemy. I thought it was meant to be fixed damage, but it's still working, so it's fine. There are more bosses, but honestly they're quite easy, so I'm going to do another montage. Here, near the end of second world, we come up against Gilgamesh again, and he dropped Excalibur, which is a knockoff version of Excalibur. Excalibur normally does 1 damage per hit if you use it to just attack like a normal human being would. However, paired with Goblin Punch, it really shines. This is because Goblin Punch ignores any special traits imbued within the weapon. For example, if a dagger normally does wind damage, this will not trigger. Goblin Punch will just use the raw power of the weapons the party member is wielding. We take on Exdeath at the end of this second world, and we are in the third and final world now, which is the Merge world. We go about collecting stone tablets to get sealed weapons. This will help us beat Exdeath. We head over to the Great Pyramid first to get the stone tablet that lies within, and the Guardians at the entrance take an age to defeat. In retrospect, I'm sure I could have used my targeting better, but 7 minutes pass and they finally crumble. 7 minutes, I forgot it was 7 minutes. That's a dumb time for battles. After grabbing the stone tablet, I head over to get Excalibur, Holy Lance and Sasuke's Katana. I think I said that right. This is all I'm going to unlock for this run because life is way too short and I got the tablets in the other runs. There's just, I don't want any of the rubbish weapons at here, to be honest. I go to the Phantom Village to grab the best gear and fill any weapon slots that need filling. I also get some coral rings and some haste sandals for everyone. I then get the Brave Blade and the third ribbon, and now it's time to head into the Void. There are a handful of easy bosses in here, and I find a few more useful weapons, then we get to Twintania. For some reason, and I don't know why, I thought that I could equip coral rings and it would negate the damage from Mega Flare, but it did not. After 6 attempts, I return to the surface and hunt down some reflect rings. This involves entering Phoenix Tower. I felt sure that you needed to go through Fork Tower to unlock this area. Luckily though, I was wrong. It was just a case of getting my black chocobo and going through the front door. After getting 4 reflect rings, we return and finally take down Twintania. After a play fight with Gilgamesh, we're up against Exdeath once again, and I die so much. I think about returning to Twintania's castle to level up, but I'm glad I didn't. It was just a matter of RNG. With 3 members of my team on single digit health, we take them down. So yes, you can beat Final Fantasy V with just blue magic. And not only just blue magic, you can do it with just Goblin Punch. I'm pretty sure that it would have been easier if I had just done a blue magic run. I am so sorry that this took so long to come out. I basically lost the footage twice, because I did a blue magic run originally, and then I thought, actually, I could probably just do with Goblin Punch. So I went through the game again and did it with just Goblin Punch. Lost all that footage, that was going to be one video. And I had to bring myself around to doing it one more time. And honestly, it took me about a month and a half just to get my mind in the right headspace to do it again. But I'm glad I did, and I'm glad I finally recorded this voiceover and now I can start editing the video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm not sure what's going to be coming out after this. I always put off playing through Final Fantasy VI because, in all honesty, I'm just not a big fan of the game. So I think maybe it should be the attack only run of Final Fantasy X because I'm nearing the end of the release run on my podcast for attack only Final Fantasy X. If you haven't listened, it's at Attack on Final Fantasy, obviously. Why did that feel so hard to get out of my head? So yeah, it's gonna be the Final Fantasy X attack only run. I've just gotta write up a little script for it and bumble my way through recording that. So thanks. If you could give me a like and a subscribe or a share, let's do all the nice stuff, that'd be really cool. I did a count of all my backlog games the other day. Oh my days, I've got so many games in my backlog. I vowed not to buy any more games until I've cleared my backlog. It's crazy. I think it's something like 438 whole days worth of backlogs. Games like that is like going on the average of 40 hours per game. Ugh, it's awful. I don't know how I'm going to tackle it, but I'll get there. Alright, well, thanks for listening to me ramble here, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.